Welcome back to another episode of Not Your Average Joe and Dad, and this is Season 3.
We are back after a few months away, couple months away, whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's been a while, so we have to get back into the swing of things. With the podcast, we have new mics, so we don't know if they're going to be any good. So if it sounds bad, it should sound better. These are much nicer mics
Yes,
than what
they
we
are.
had before, but hopefully it sounds all right. We have a lot to just touch on and talk about, catch y'all up on the last few months, couple months. What do you think? What do you want to talk about first?
Ride baseball.
It has been the biggest part of our life lately, baseball.
Yeah.
I think we've touched on it before, but tell everybody what we did.
We made our own team called the Brandon Bucks.
Yep, made a travel baseball team, 11U. It has been actually more work than I thought it was going to be.
Really?
Yeah, you don't think about when you join a baseball team, but somebody has to come up with the logos. Somebody has to order the uniforms. There's back and forth and making sure the uniforms are right. Then you got to have, your bank account. And then you got to make sure all the money you're bringing in is enough to cover what you're spending. And then you got to have hats. And you got to make sure all the hats fit. And then everybody wants team bags. You have to design the team bags. And then there's helmets. And you have to design the helmets.
And jerseys.
Then there's practice jerseys. Yeah. And then there's socks and belts that fit your colors. And then there's this and that. And then you have practice, and then you have games, and then you have to register for the tournaments, and then you have to pay for the tournaments.
And also, all that, I don't have to do anything.
No, you just show up and do practice. And then you have practice, which we actually had great turnout. We actually filled our roster probably 1st of June, and through June and July, we've been doing, kind of an open practice like twice a week, and those have been going really well. And then last week, we started our first full team practice, and those are going well, and we play our first tournament September the 12th.
So if you don't know open practices, or you don't have to come?
Well, yeah, it's like, everybody wants their summers, so we paid for the fields, and I was going to be there, so we just called it an open practice. But, we probably averaged I'd probably say anywhere from 7 to 9 people every practice, and we only have 11 on the team, so, it was a heck of a turnout.
And then our first real one, we had everybody on the team.
Yeah, that's expected. Our first tournament is September 12th and 13th.
Yep.
Do you know the only downside of that?
That's when bow season starts.
Yeah, well, that's the early velvet season weekend. So that's the only weekend you can bow hunt. So I'll be hunting that Friday.
Yeah.
And depending on what time our games are, maybe that Saturday and Sunday. If I can go in the morning before we have to go to the field, I will.
Yeah, he did that last year, turkey hunting.
I did. But baseball's been really the biggest part of our summer, getting this team filled out. Joe is doing catching and hitting lessons, so we've been running 4 days a week. We had practice on Wednesday and Friday, but normally Tuesdays and Thursdays, Joe was doing kind of private catching and hitting lessons.
Yeah.
So we've been running 4 days a week with that. It's just been pretty much consuming all of our time, right?
Yeah, and then we're going to batting cages later today.
Yeah, don't leave me with dead space while I take a sip of water. You got to keep it going.
Okay.
So yeah, that's kind of the baseball update. We have some really cool jerseys. Of course, our team logo is a deer.
Yeah.
Orange and kind of went vintage looking. We have a green jersey that's army green with orange pinstripes with like the Brandon Bucks logo on it. And then we have kind of a army green and tan.
We're all like army green, hunter's green.
Hunter orange. So that's pretty cool. So that's about 5 minutes worth of baseball talk. On the hunting front, I guess the only really cool news is drew an alligator tag again, a public water alligator tag, which maybe one of the first episodes we ever did was talking about the last time I drew a alligator tag.
Yep.
The only difference with this one is what, Joe?
I'm coming.
Yep. Joe's going to come on this one, and we're going to try to film it. Just to kind of capture what it's like to do a public water alligator hunt, or public waterway alligator hunt.
Oh, you know what we didn't talk about on the baseball?
What?
Who's sponsoring us?
No, we're not talking about that.
Okay.
But yeah, we got alligator hunt coming up. That's literally in 3 weeks.
Only 3?
Yeah, we're going to go September 1st and 3rd. It's only I think it's a 9-day season. So we're going to go the 1st and 3rd. And
hopefully get us some big gauges.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, you can get one over 7 feet and one under 7 feet.
Yeah.
That's what the state law is. I did not draw any Western tags, so no elk or mule deer for me this year. I think last time I looked, I was like 330 on the alternate list. So
what does that mean?
You sign up for, I guess, like people when they return their tags or don't claim their tags or anything like that. There's an alternate list, and I'm not close, so not doing that. Then the other hunting activity we have for this year is what?
Texas.
Yeah, tell them about that.
So once again, I get to come. We're going to Texas October.
Yep. This will be Joe's first trip to Texas and seeing some of those whitetail. I plan on trying to film it too. Actually, we're doing a little bit of flip-flopping this year. The plan is for Joe to actually pull the trigger.
Yep.
And not me, so that should be fun. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's going to be pretty cool.
So you are full of words today. You know what the word you say most is?
What?
Yup.
Oh, yeah.
Yup. Yup. You got to talk a little bit more on a podcast, son. You just can't say yup.
Yep.
That's what happens. You turned 11 going on 30, and now you're like, yeah, bruh. Come on. Talk a little bit.
I got a new recurve.
Well, we're getting there. Yeah. Tell them what happened. Tell me all of it.
So we went to the Wildlife Expo. Extravaganza. And they have like a little bow shooting. What? How do you bow?
Well, yeah, it's the Mississippi. I think it's the Mississippi Traditional Archers Association has a booth there, and they actually have it set up to where kids can come and shoot recurve bows at about 10 yards, maybe 11 yards at deer targets.
Yeah, and so I cannot shoot with like the little, like the not non-real ones. Like I'm better with like the real nice,
like an actual wood recurve, not a plastic toy.
And
why don't you back it up and tell them you have a relationship with these guys because they love to see you coming every year?
Oh yeah, because last year I was calling my like color of balloon. I was hitting it and shot up to a 53-pound recurve bow.
Yeah, the guy that runs it is a gentleman named Robert Daly. He likes Joe because Joe has a pretty natural shot with a recurve. So last year, Joe was like pink balloon, and this is about 10 yards on a like a Glendale foam buck target. So Joe's like pink balloon, pop. He hits the pink balloon. He's like light blue balloon, pop. Hits the light blue balloon. And the guy kept saying, hey, can y'all stay for a little bit? And kept handing Joe these nicer recurves. And then he's like, I want you to shoot this one. Let him shoot his recurve. Actually, let him shoot all of his recurves, but like let him shoot the one he killed his first deer with in the 70s and like all of these nicer recurves. So this year they saw Joe coming and wanted him to shoot some more.
Yep.
Lord have mercy. So you get up there, you see Mr. Robert, and you start shooting. Tell me about it.
So I started shooting. I was kind of rusty.
He was a little rusty, and there was actually like a fan or something blowing on the balloon. So he would say like blue balloon. Well, he would hit where the blue balloon was, but then the wind had blown it to the left.
Yeah.
So he did that a few times.
And this year they had like these little like foam balls, like the size of a golf ball.
Yep.
And they were hanging above the deer on a string.
And they were probably about 2 yards further.
Yeah.
So it was replicating a hanging golf ball is what it was, but it was a foam ball.
So I was like, we actually went and walked around.
Well, he asked you to come back and shoot some more.
Yeah, and then we came back, and I was like, I want to hit that little golf ball looking thing. So I started shooting at it, and like when I say I'm close, I'm like grouping right around it.
Well, from my perspective, his first shot was like a little left of it. And then his next shot was a little right of it. And you could see like he was actually making adjustments. It was like left, it was right. And then he shot dead center, but it was low. And then he shot kind of above it, and he kind of formed a circle around the ball, trying to dial it in. It was probably about 8 shots.
All of them, if it was like a deer shoulder, it would have been a dead deer.
Oh, yeah. You're talking all within 4 inches.
Yeah.
But so the kicker is, let's digress just a little bit. Earlier that day, we went and saw our buddies over at the Spring Legion booth.
Oh, yeah.
And tell them what they gave you.
So we were looking around like we always do, and I love their hats.
Yeah, after we bought some hats and shirts.
Yeah, and Dad actually found a hat he liked because he does not like structured hats. And so we were looking around, and then we were walking away and him and Dad were still talking, and he was like, check out these new archery.
No, I was like, what is that? It was a hat that had like a half bill on it. It looked
It was
funny.
like a quarter of a bill.
It almost looked like a toddler hat, right? And I was like, what is that? Because I've never seen one. Maybe I'm not in the loop. And he goes, oh, those are archer hats. They call them archer hats.
And then I walked over, and I was like, what the heck is that?
And so it's a hat with a half bill on it, basically, so your bowstring or any of that doesn't actually hit your hat bill, right? And turkey hunters can use them because when you're sitting on a tree trying to look up at a bird up, above you, you don't have that whole hat bill blocking, but you still have enough to keep the sun out of your face. So there was an archer hat, and what'd they do?
He said, take one if you want it, because they're like, what did he say? They were kind of like prototypes.
I think he got them just to test the waters, and maybe not a lot of people wanted them. Yeah. I don't know, but he gave you one, right?
And I was like, this thing looks so weird.
Yeah, but Joe was like, absolutely. So anyway, fast forward to you're back over at the archery shoot, and you shoot about 8 shots, and
all around it, and I'm like, hand me my short bill hat.
Yeah, hand me my short bill hat.
And I put it on one shot right to the right of it, and then I adjusted left, and I hit the ball.
Yep.
And it was like almost dead center. It was just on the left part of the ball, but it was almost dead center.
Yeah, so it took him 2 shots after he put on his archer's hat to hit this hanging golf ball.
I call it shorty. That's what I call it.
Of course you do.
The power of shorty.
So anyway, I mean, Joe, he's doing pretty well with the recurve, and I took a picture of the model that he likes to shoot up there, and it is a Damon Howitt Hunter, 28-inch. I think he was shooting, that was a 40, no, it was 42 pounds. That one was like 40 or 42 pounds at 28 inches. But it's a Damon Howitt, and these are vintage bows, so anyways.
You said from 69 to 79?
Well, so I went looking after the fact and tried to find a nice example of one, and the one I found says it was produced between 69 and 79. And the thing with old recurves is, I mean, a lot of times they're twisted or cracked or any of this. So I looked around and tried to find the most pristine example of a Damon Howitt I could find. The only downside is it's 48 pounds at 28 inches. So a little bit heavier than probably what Joe's comfortable shooting, I guess, all the time. Because he's not getting the full 28. He's probably pulling 13, 14 inches maybe.
I got short arms.
Yeah. But we got it, and we came in, and Joe didn't know it was coming.
Oh, yeah.
And got it, and went and got it set up. And guys looked it over at the bow shop, local bow shop here called B&B Archery. Really good dudes. They do a lot of hunting. Always been nice. Nice to me and Joe. We've been going in there for years. I mean, he's like, man, I'll be honest with you. He's like, a lot of these snap in our hands when we try to string them up. They didn't really want to string it up.
2 guys there had
old recurve snap on them because it's just such tension, and the wood's old. But the guy's name's Rob. Go see Rob if you need anything. Really nice dude. We looked it over, and he's like, man, this thing is very clean. We couldn't find any twist or any kind of cracks or any of that thing, and he volunteered, but maybe a little reluctantly, to actually put a string on it for Joe, and he strung it up. And
you helped?
No, I mean, I helped get the strings in the notches because he had it under tension, but got it strung up and went and took some shots, and now Joe's rolling with a recurve.
Yep.
It's I want to say it's 62 inches, so it's taller than he is at this point.
Almost.
Almost.
Well, kind of.
But that's been really the big highlight. So now we've been taking it out back, and Joe's been shooting with it. And then we broke the compounds out because what's your goal this year?
Kill a deer with a bow.
Yep. And initially I was thinking it was going to be the recurve because I'll be honest with you, he was shooting the recurve better than he was shooting his compound. But he's grown a little bit since the last time, and we actually got out there and I adjusted his draw length. He had put 2 inches on his draw length, and we actually ended up giving his compound probably two full turns. My guess is he's probably pulling upper 30s. We got to go get some arrows cut for him because he's still shooting some of my old arrows. So they're a little long. So I really want to get that dialed in with the right arrows. But
yeah,
he's out there doing pretty well, out to 20 with it. We got to tighten some groups up and really make sure his sights are dialed in because after I cranked a little more poundage on it, of course, it's flying high. So we need to really dial in and test that out.
But I had one lucky group. It was like almost all of them were in the bullseye.
Yeah, but see, that's luck. And I told him that's what he has to do before I let him hunt with something. He's got to be able to on command hit with consistency the target where he's aiming before we ever try to pull back on a deer. We're not going to just go out there and start slinging arrows and Hail Mary one out there and see if it actually hits. We want to be proficient in whatever tool we use to do the harvest of the animal. So he's got a goal to be able to, shoot at will at 20 yards. I told him, what's your cap this year?
20.
Yeah, you're not shooting anything over. We will, if it's 20 and a half or 21, what happens?
We don't shoot.
That's right. So, but what has to happen before we even take it to the woods?
Group on command.
Yeah, you got to be very consistent out to 20. So he's been real gung-ho on shooting the bow. The only downside with that is it feels like 150,000 degrees every day in Mississippi. It's been absolutely brutal hot.
Yeah, it ain't that fun to be outside, and also our backyard has a whole bunch of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Whenever it's like hot.
Yeah, we're Mississippi. You got hot weather, mosquitoes.
Yeah, which is not a good combo.
Not enjoyable bow shooting conditions. But yeah, that's kind of what we got to look forward to. We finally got out to deer camp too, setting up some bow spots. We did that, last Friday?
Yes.
That's actually why y'all didn't get a podcast, because me and Joe decided to actually go to the woods.
Also, disclaimer, in Mississippi, it is legal to put bait out.
It is. We've actually talked about that before. In Mississippi, you can bait deer, feed deer, all that stuff. If they outlawed it tomorrow, I would not care. It wouldn't bother me at all. If you do not do it in Mississippi, every 400 yards there's somebody doing it, because our property line could be 100 yards, 400 yards. I can guarantee you in all directions people are feeding deer. It's kind of like a necessary evil down here to be competitive. Not competitive, really just to see what kind of deer are hanging around. But me personally, if they outlawed baiting deer tomorrow, I would never think twice about it. I would just move on with my life. I know not everybody feels that way, because we have talked about it on this podcast before. Like feeding deer or baiting deer or corn or whatever. Some people say food plots are baiting deer, right? It just really kind of depends on how deep and you want to dive into it. So that's for experts that aren't us to figure out. If it's legal, we're going to hunt legal.
Yep.
But
I said yep.
I know you've said yep 100 times so far. But we wanted to get some cameras out and get some spots set up. I got, kind of traditional bow spots that I've had for a couple years that I like. One of them is going to be pretty conducive to getting a ground blind for Joe, because I'm not going to put him in a tree this year. Still, he hasn't quite gotten the feel of a tree yet. So, gonna set up a ground blind.
I've never been anywhere close to climbing up a tree.
I know. Gonna set up a ground blind and brush it in really well, and that's probably gonna be where you live for bow hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you changed it up. You said yeah instead of yep.
Yep.
Tell me what you think about the ground blind hunting.
Oh, wait.
Oh, sorry. He's got a sneeze. Elephant. Did it work?
False alarm.
Yep, it worked.
So I actually really like it because I don't have to climb up a tree.
Yeah. You don't like heights, do you?
No, not really. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be a lot better for me as a kid to not have to climb up the tree.
Well, you're also going to experience something you've never experienced before, and that is bow hunting in Mississippi. Early season is not, I'll be honest with you, it's not that enjoyable. It's hot.
It's only enjoyable if you kill a deer.
It's hot. There's mosquitoes. It can make for some long sits in the woods, but it should be fun.
And this year we have a Joe cam.
What is that?
We set up a camera.
Well, tell them what that is, because what's a Joe cam?
And we set up a camera on his bow hunting spot, and then we set a camera up on a food plot where they normally like to cross.
And it's a road. It's not necessarily a food plot.
And they like to cross right there, so I said I want to put one right there, and we called it the Joe cam. So far, it's only had one deer.
It had another doe this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But the bow spot that we're going to set up a ground blind in had a couple bucks coming in pretty consistently.
Yeah. Wasn't it 2 8 points?
Yeah, maybe. Kind of messed up. One of the deer almost shot last year just because he's messed up horns. He's been this way for 3 years. He's got like a split brow on his right, but like
Crab claw.
no, he's got a split brow on his right.
Oh wait, really?
With like 4 points, and then on his left last year, he was a single horn on his left. I believe with maybe like a crab claw at the very end. He's picked up a few more points this year, but not many. I've had this deer on camera for 3 years, so he's on there, and then
another younger 8-point.
Yeah, maybe 6. I'd have to look. We've had 3 bucks hit that. But it's kind of getting Joe excited because that's where we need to go ahead and get our ground blind brushed in.
The only bad thing is that it's all at night.
So far, yeah. Give them time. They're there, but that's half the battle.
Yeah, they showed up first night with it out.
Yeah. So it was, they normally move pretty quick. We had to we walked all that stuff in, which.
Yeah, it was my first time carrying a little bit of weight.
Well, yeah, Joe packed in a backpack, and then I packed in a backpack with about 90 pounds on.
Not me, him.
No, me. And then had to cross a creek and had to crawl up the other side, which was fun.
Yeah, and I was wearing blue jeans.
Yep. And, right now, surprisingly, we didn't see any snakes. That's what I was wondering about because everything's thick and overgrown. Like we were walking through stuff that's, chest high. I mean, it's pretty gnarly out there
chest
right now.
High to you above my head.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly out there. But we got all that done. Got to get a few more spots set up. Right now, we're actually recording this in our kitchen, and what's all on the counter?
A whole bunch of meat processing stuff.
Why?
Because you and Mr. Steven, our buddy, processed a lot of meat.
Yeah, finally getting around to processing some stuff. So, I mean, right now my microphone's sitting on top of a meat mixer.
Yeah.
And there's a grinder. The whole process is out.
There's a grinder right here. There's a cutting board. There's a, what is this?
Totes. Tubs.
And then you have like the thing they put on top of the grinder to load meat in.
Yeah, there's a stuffer and a couple cutting boards.
So something to make breakfast patties.
Yep. Yesterday we did over 100 pounds. I did a 25-pound batch of original sausage. I did a 25-pound batch of country-style breakfast sausage and patties. Those are all... I did that in fresh sausage. So the patties are frozen in the freezer fresh. The smoked sausage was on the smoker all day yesterday. It's been cut up and vac sealed. We did about 50 pounds of ground meat for Steven. And then we also did a 25-pound batch of maple bacon. And that is currently on the smoker as we speak. Smoker.
You said spoker.
Okay. Deer bacon's a 3-day process for me. It may be for everybody because you have to actually grind it up, do all your seasonings, use the meat mixer, put it in aluminum pans, let it sit and cure overnight. Then you pull it out, put it in the smoker, let it smoke to 150 to 160. Then you pull it out and let that cool overnight. And then the 3rd day is actually when you slice it up and vacuum seal it. So right now it's been on the smoker for, it's almost 2. It's 2, so probably 5 hours.
You lost me as soon as you started talking about it.
That seems about right. But we still have a good bit of meat to process, so while everything's out, I'm probably going to try to get a lot of it processed. All the seasonings and stuff we do, I've actually moved to the Bearded Butcher stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
Got to meet them in Montana.
Yep, Joe's met them, both nice guys. It just really cuts down on having to like weigh out all your own stuff and get it all right. Like the mixes are right. It's set up for 25 pounds. It's just really worked well for us. I think I have one of their kielbasa sets to do.
What?
It's a sausage. I have a onion bell pepper to do, which I know you're not a big fan of.
I started to like that.
There's a jerky in there. And maybe one more. I don't remember. And then we got to do some ground meat. So a little bit of work there, but I want to get all that done before the season starts rolling.
You want to go ahead and do the Joe tip?
Yeah, give me a tip.
So
Joe's tip of the day.
No,
week.
So this one is actually for baseball. So whenever you're playing baseball, I like to like run the play in my head before.
Okay.
And so like, if the ball comes to me, go here, go there, and some stuff like that.
Yeah, baseball 101.
Yep.
Now, do you have a hunting tip?
See, I didn't prepare for that because I prepared the baseball tip.
All right, we'll just go with that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. We're back rolling. We'll have these coming out every week or 2 weeks, kind of as we feel.
Probably a lot of baseball.
We're gonna pepper in both. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and I cannot remember what it was. We talked about baseball. I don't know. I'm sure it was important. What else you want to cover?
I don't know.
Is that it? You want to wrap it up?
Yeah.
I know what I was going to talk about.
What?
We've reached over, this isn't big numbers for anybody, but it's fun for us. We've had over 1,100, 1,200 downloads of the podcast.
Oh, really?
Which is pretty cool. We've gotten over half of those in the last couple months.
Well, thanks for all the support.
Yeah, that's, like I said, that's not big numbers for anybody but us. It's been very enjoyable because we've had over 1,200 or right at 1,200 downloads.
No way to support is subscribe and like this video.
It's not a video. This is a podcast. But yeah, anytime you can like, share, subscribe, that's awesome. We do have, I think we're 530 subscribers on YouTube?
Something like that.
What we do? We actually put out a video not that long ago. Did we talk about it on here? Yeah, we did. We talked about the 1022 video.
Oh, yeah.
So that was our last video, but we'll have some more coming with more podcasts, especially as we're rolling into the hunting season. So, I mean, really, it's here now. I know antelope archery starts in Montana this week.
Really?
Yeah, so it's hunting season. Elk season starts next week for everybody. So yeah, if you do us a favor, like it, share it with your friends. Any of that kind of stuff would help. What else you got?
Nothing really.
That's it? That's a good wrap up, kind of a catch up of what we've been doing. I think that's it.
Yep.
So this podcast might be named Yep.
Yep.
So tell them what they need to do.
Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Oh, wait. Let me see if I can come up with a joke.
No, this is it. Save it for next time.
All right.
All right, bye.
See ya.